What's up, everyone? I'm Spencer King. To my
man.
left is Jeff Walsh, and this is Reverse Meltdown, a weekly show about the world of independent comic books. Go, go, go! Just start.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but so we spend an ridiculous amount of time
I'm almost gonna cry.
before we get to this point. And you guys don't ever see, but oftentimes it takes us about 32 tries before we actually get a good go.
We're just going this time.
And this is the intro
I
now.
wouldn't call that one good.
No, it's special though. Hey, did you notice how you didn't call it the Meltdown? I sure did.
Oh, what?
It was called Reverse Meltdown.
Tell
Why,
me.
Spencer? It's Spencer.
I'm already at such a lost.
You're at a lost? What happened? What'd you lose?
Oh.
Hey, buddy.
Hi. Oh my gosh.
That was good. I like that.
good. Good.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we are, Reverse Meltdown.
This is Reverse Meltdown. Because it turns out when your show's named different than the channel,
Yep, it gets super confusing.
you just...
Oh, where can I find your show? Okay, so you got to go to YouTube, and then you know how the show's called The Meltdown?
Well,
Yeah, well, screw that. Don't listen to that. You got to go search Reverse. Oh, what's Reverse Meltdown? Oh, it's a thing, and that my dumb friend, when he set up the YouTube account, set it up as the thing, and that's bad. Yeah, Reverse Meltdown.
We're committing. We're thinking about not...
See you in
Maybe
March
a
when we change the
different
name
time.
again.
Yeah. We're going to commit now.
The things
So we're Reverse Meltdown, your weekly show
about.
about the world of independent comic books.
Hey.
Hi. I'm coming down off of that high, the giggle fest.
Hi.
Yep.
Dude, you snapped at the beginning.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Oh yeah, like
That
I
was-
lost it.
that was great.
Oh, I'm a little lightheaded.
Are you?
I'm trying to decide if I'm seeing stars or if it's just.
Is there a heavy-headed?
heavy-headed?
Oh, because you can have.
Yeah,
you
it's
can
when
be
you're really tired and you're. Oh, that's heavy head.
I thought.
Yeah, because your head.
I thought that was like your eyelids are heavy.
Trying to get. No, this is you and your eyelids are heavy. They're just
I don't think I've ever been
closed.
heavy-headed. Years ago, used to go to. Hey, okay, so I'm gonna start that story over again. So that's what it looks like when you have a stroke in the middle of a sentence.
Take two.
Okay, so years ago, when I was your age, so millennia ago.
So long.
Anyways, so there was this guy Lil and I went to church with, and during the sermon and stuff, he was like super busy college. Like he worked a full-time job.
Yeah.
He was like 18 units a semester, like dating, gonna get married.
Oh.
Like he was crazy busy. So if church was at any point boring,
Yeah. He would
just start to nod.
Yep.
But
That's heavy head.
okay,
That's
I don't think
heavy
that's
head.
heavy head. I've
Okay.
never heard the phrase. That's why I brought it up, because the phrase heavy head is not a thing.
That's a phrase that like my family uses when you start to nod off.
Well, that's special.
Yes, we are.
Heavy head. Anyways, and so it was great to watch him start to does, because he would be like trying to pay attention, like, but his eyes would be like you know, like where you get like sleepy, but like
Yeah.
I can't do it very well because I have droopy eyes.
Yeah.
But like okay, so normal people's eyes like
Oh,
this,
no.
and then he's like okay. But it's fun to watch because all of a sudden you'd see him do like he'd start to do that,
Yeah.
but then he would like like when you're sleeping, you do that. But it wasn't as dramatic. You ever notice like if you fall asleep like that, you like it's jarring to wake back up, but you
Right.
hardly ever jolted.
Right.
The funniest part, and this is not gonna be funny to anybody else, I'm telling a story. He would jolt, and then all of a sudden he would do this.
Hey, am I
Good? And he would just
Am
like
I
his
good?
eyes would look around like, did anybody catch us? And then or catch me? And then like 5 or 6 of us started noticing it. So then the minute he did it, like a whole group would just start laughing.
And just like
Yeah, it was that was a great story. No one cares about
So
indie comics.
we care about indie comics.
We sure do.
And if anyone's watching, they probably care about indie comics.
Hey, our wives and the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Hey, Rock, what's up?
We appreciate the views we do get.
Yep.
And we just like talking about it. But one of the things we wanted to talk about, we've talked about before.
Dude, This might be the fastest we've ever just gotten into the subject.
Yay us.
Cool, I can delay us. Yeah?
Yeah.
How you doing?
So there's this one time I went to church, and there is this guy. We laughed at him.
I hate you.
Oh, man.
How's my soda?
Smells good.
Ugh.
I don't need a sip yet.
So comic books, here we go.
Man,
in the
oh, man.
segues. Hey, Spencer,
Hey, Jeff.
if you're in a comic book store,
Yeah?
how do you know which comic books to buy that you want, that you
one-
never read before?
Probably the ones I like the most.
I said
Oh, that I haven't read before?
you've never read them before.
Oh. I should read them.
It's going to be that kind of show.
Okay.
So you know how one time we talked about pulling out of comics, like which ones we don't want to read anymore, and we called it pulling out because
Right.
there's an innuendo there that's funny to us.
Right.
So when do you know to
Penetrate.
I totally was not gonna use that word. I was gonna say something more like equally bad, but not as.
I saw your hesitation,
and
I
yeah,
jumped on
I
it.
did. I hesitated. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna make the freaking dirty joke right here.
Oh, that's good soda.
It is. It really is, especially when you're thirsty.
Yeah.
Mountain Dew. Reverse Meltdown sponsored by Mountain Dew. Not really, but man, I would love it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Would love that too. We talk about how much we want to get paid to do this a lot.
At least once an episode.
At least once an episode.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about how to commit to a comic book.
How to penetrate a comic book
That too.
without paper cuts.
Especially if you don't. No, I don't know. Because we want to go into the comic books.
Yeah.
But how deep? No, but that's like, I don't know how
Oh
else
my gosh.
to say it at
Listen,
this
to
point.
all
I'm
our
so
to all our
sorry.
friends and other people that have any like hint of respect for us, it's just been a weird day, and a lot of the filters that we typically use, I know it's hard to believe that either of us have filters, but we do. Sorry that a lot aren't here, and now we're just saying things that we probably shouldn't.
Yep.
Man,
Yep.
we're gonna make our wives proud.
So proud. There were some things in
So
the
can we
last
talk about
episode
sticking it in the comic
that
books?
we hadn't brought up,
Yeah.
and my wife was just like, "Wait, what?
What did we bring up?
Penises?"
Oh, but that's because that was like part
She
of the
didn't
book.
know, and so it was a little jarring for her. I hear a buzz. It's not your phone.
Dude, your phone is getting blown up.
No, it's just someone calling.
Yeah, I know. I think I know who it is, too. Dear Lord, that's terrifying. Hi, Christian.
It's a good picture.
He doesn't watch his show.
Is that our problem?
I don't know. Does he watch the show?
You know what? It doesn't matter.
Here's the best part.
What?
If he does watch the show, now that we've brought it up, he will let us know he watches the show. And if he doesn't,
He won't bring it up.
yeah, but now that if you heard that, he might not bring it up.
Either way, we'll know. But what I want to know is how to commit to a comic book. Because we talked about when to pull out, right? And I
Yeah.
think the best way that I realized I needed to pull out, like, because of my budget, was when I was stacking my comic books in a particular order.
Yeah, I love that.
Right? Where it was just like, okay, these 3 books are so-so.
You reward
so
yourself by reading
I need
books
to
you
put
don't
the
like.
one I want to read
Yeah.
under them, so I'll read through the 3 that are so-so. And it was just like, wait, then why am I even getting these 3 books?
Yep. Yeah.
And so, but how do
Was
you...
that on? Oh, yeah, it was on an episode
Yeah.
because Lily was like, yeah, I can stop reading these things I don't like anymore.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But when you don't know much about a book, before it gets to that book
Possibly
you look forward
nothing
to,
other than the cover.
Right.
Yeah, how do you know which?
Yeah, but sometimes, well, the cover, that's one thing.
That tastes like chili dogs.
Winds of the chili dogs are
Yeah.
blowing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Revenge of the Dogs.
Woof.
Oh, low battery. We're good. I got 20%.
When sometimes it is the cover though. The cover is what's going to draw you to the book. I have a friend who will sometimes he'll just try a book because of the cover. The cover looks neat. Maybe the title's enticing, and he'll pick it up, give it a try.
Would you ever buy a book that you knew like there's no like like the comic book store doesn't have a little like blurb about it,
Right.
or like online there's like nothing.
Right.
Would you ever just buy a book
No.
where you like see the cover and you're like, oh, the cover's interesting?
Oh,
and
sorry. Let me answer when you're done asking.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah. No. My answer is no. No, I probably would not. And I think maybe I would have sometimes in some of the time in my past, some of that time before now.
Wow. Wow.
Some of that then I might have, but now I've become so spoiled on the blurbs, on the synopses, on the little plot summaries, that those are what I use
Okay.
to introduce myself to books so much now, because there is so much out there to read that
There's a lot to read.
if I don't get a review of any kind, or any kind, like a word of mouth or written, I need something to push me over the edge to even just try a book.
What about a book that's written and drawn by somebody you're not familiar with, but somebody you are familiar with, like Remender or whoever, goes on and recommends the book?
Then yeah, I would.
Okay.
I would.
So
I would
somebody
totally
that
give it a
you
try.
would buy, like if Mark Millar comes out with a new book,
Yeah.
you're probably going to buy it just because his name's on it.
Yes.
And then if he recommends books, because you already like his books, you would buy the person's books that he recommends.
Yes.
Without knowing much about it.
Yes.
What about anything? What if he just goes, this is one of the funnest books I've read so far this year, and that's all he says?
I would get it.
You would get it.
Yes, I would.
Wow, that is some serious pull.
Yeah. No, I am so committed to creators. Like.
Yeah, but I would do that too. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No.
It doesn't take much to get me to buy a book.
That is true as well. Okay, but so we've got these reasons as to maybe why we might try a book, but how do you know when to commit? How do you know when to buy issues 2 through 10?
Through 10?
If there's 10, what if there's only 6?
So, but say that's two questions, right? That's two different questions. Because
Okay.
getting to issue 2 is a much different feeling than committing to the whole arc.
True. So
Because there have been books that I love where, let's just call it a 12-part arc,
okay.
and like 8 and 9 slow down a little bit, and I'm kind of bored with what
Yep.
happens 8 and 9.
Yep.
But I already am committed to the whole arc, and I'm
Okay.
hoping it picks back up.
Okay.
So my criteria, honestly, and this fits into that other conversation where we were like, okay, if you start like down stacking,
Right.
I have down stacked books that I like because they get a little stale in the
Okay.
middle of an arc,
Okay.
and then pick back up towards the end. So I don't necessarily know if the down stacking is like the ultimate sign to be like, I'm done with this book, but I would say that it's the ultimate sign to know it's on the edge of like, oh, it's time to
Yes.
go.
Right.
But when it comes to issues 2, let's just tackle issue 2 first, because issue 2 is different than committing to the arc.
Okay.
The only way I pick up an issue 2 is what the heck was
You're
that?
tapping the table and my mic's real jiggly. I got distracted.
Yeah, I was like looking over, and all of a sudden you're like,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Okay. The issue 2 issue. That's what we're on.
you can't do that when you gave me crap about calling that one segment the number one.
No, but I just
The
forgot
issue
that
2
that's what we
issue.
liked. It took me by surprise that that's what it was.
And I love the issue 2 issue. That's great.
The issue 2 issue.
Yeah, I love redundancy like that. Anyways,
So how to move on from 1 to 2?
yeah.
You
so
eat more solid food?
we're done. This is the first 14. You made me choke. 14-minute episode. See you next week, folks. All right, let's turn off the light.
No, don't do it. I want to do the whole show.
Oh man,
Oh, what a day. This is great.
I feel like this is like based on all the conversations prior to this, just nonsense had to happen here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I need to have fun. I do.
Or we're just gonna break down and cry.
Yeah.
Okay, so the number one issue has to have intrigue.
Yeah.
Are you okay? Do you need another
I'm
minute?
so giggly. You said number one, and I wanted you to say number one, but you didn't. And then, of course, since I was thinking about it, I thought it was hilarious.
You're special.
Remember that time in group when the M&Ms?
Nobody's gonna care about that. You're gonna tell that story, and they're gonna care as much about that story as they did about my story about the guy who falls asleep in church.
Okay, you can continue.
We should edit that part out because that was a really boring story.
Nope.
No, it's not gonna happen.
Nope.
So number one.
I'm touching his leg with my leg, and it threw him off.
Remember how I said this is the fastest we've gotten to the subject, and we haven't even got there yet?
Oh, barely. We got there, but then we were just taking forever to.
Well, I'm just
whatever.
I don't have enough mental fortitude today to plow through the nonsense. Like,
right.
yeah. So now whenever you get distracted, I'm distracted by you being distracted.
Right.
And then we come back to it, and then you start and then
Ooh, I got it bad.
Hey,
I
Batman.
got it bad.
Hey there, buddy.
Ooh, that's nice. Okay, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling like I can handle it. I want to hear no the number one, number two.
There it is.
I want to know.
Come on. Oh, look, you holding it back.
Stop. I'm holding it. It's good. It's good. I'm fine. The cork is in it. The cork is in it.
Okay. What are we talking about?
Committing.
I know. Oh, the number 2 issue.
The issue 2 issue.
Yeah, the issue 2 issue. So the first issue has to be
intriguing.
Intriguing. It has to be clever.
Yes.
And these are just my criteria.
Right.
So it has to be clever, it has to be intriguing, or there has to be like a solid mystery / cliffhanger.
Yep.
That makes me want to know. Therefore, I go to issue 2.
Yes.
So like the intrigue side is like, oh, I like the premise. So I like, what was the Skyborn?
Yes.
First book?
Yeah.
Almost has very little to do with the second book.
Uh-huh.
You
No, you told me about it, though.
Whereas, like, what actually happens in issue 1 is the complete, like, setup for issue 2.
Mm-hmm.
But there's enough weird and interesting stuff in the first issue that I'm like, well, I want to see how this works out in issue 2. You okay?
Yeah.
Is it this? Is it this? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
It's knee bumping.
It's knee bumping.
Bump, bump, bump. Okay. So, yeah, that's my...
You're what?
Dude, we have at least another hour to go. It's going to be nonsense by the time we get to the end.
It's going to be hard. No, it's... Why? It is.
Okay. Please stop. Please stop. I can't. I have no filter today.
Right. Okay. So issue 1s tend to have a really good cliffhanger.
They have to have a hook. Let's just call it a hook.
A hook. There you go.
There has to be a solid enough hook for me to go, okay, I'll try issue 2.
Right.
Once I'm in issue 2, and I have been lost on a great many issue 2s.
Yes.
Where I love the first issue, and the second one I'm like, what is this?
Right. How did we get here?
So for issue 2 to get me, and I'll dare say that if you get me through issue 2, this same way I got through issue 1, like at that same hype,
yes,
I'm committed to the story by this point.
Yes, absolutely.
So one sells me on 2, and 2 sells me on
the rest.
On the story.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's, to me, I will give it up to issue 3.
Right. Because I know you've bounced.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, third one, I'm done.
Right. I've even stopped at after 5. There's been a book that I've read, bought and read the first 5, and it might have only had 2 or 3 left to go.
2. I know which book you're talking about.
Yep.
So.
And it was just like, I can't. I'm gonna make room for finding something else.
Yeah. But see, now it's interesting because, so if we're talking about committing, what was it about 1 that got you to 2? And then 2 got you to 3, 4, and 5.
Right.
So what happened from 1 to 2 and then 2 to 5?
Well, there were a lot of different characters, a lot of different kind of introductions, and
dude, that book, the series of the first 3 issues are nothing but character introductions.
Right, and they're really cool and interesting takes on these characters that we've all heard of before.
Yeah.
And so there was also this mystery that there's overarching mystery. And as soon as the mystery was being revealed more, it was the pacing. It was the pacing. It was the pacing.
Yeah.
It got to a point to where it was just like,
Get to the point already.
yeah, yeah. There was a slow build, but you realized that as you were climbing up, you didn't get very high.
So the book didn't get you high enough?
Did not get me high enough. I was still able to drive.
Dank Yarnum
No,
comics?
Yeah, no, it was so burring. Oh, man.
Wow, that is not enough drink to get me through what's left.
Oh, we'll try.
I gotta start sniffing my drink more
Gotta
like you.
Sniff it. Gotta sniff it good. It's like almost as good as the real thing.
Man, I'm so still thirsty.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so wow, like I don't know if I could ever bounce out of a book where you did, to be honest.
Yeah, 5. It wasn't easy because
Yeah.
just the whole completion factor was another thing.
Because I remember talking to you about the book, and I was like, "Wow, you're like so close to the end."
I was. I mean, but at the same
But see,
time,
but didn't you
I don't
also-
care anymore.
But didn't you also say that like you felt like you were forcing yourself to care from the beginning?
Yeah, I think I might have been just because of who publishes it
Yeah.
and who is in it, like the characters and stuff and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. I don't know. Yeah, there might have been, especially because you get to that point where you feel like you've already committed.
Yeah, and I think the conversation between when to leave and when to
Jump in.
have so much parallel
Yes.
because, like you just said, like for me, once I'm past issue 2, I've pretty much made up my mind that I'll continue the story unless it's like one of those stories that's like, oh, never ending, like the story arc feels like it never ends.
Right.
Which there are some books that just seem like they're going forever.
Yes.
But like once issue 1 sells me in issue 2, and once issue 2 like really sets the hook,
Yes.
I don't know, like there's part of me that's just like I want to see how this story that's set up pans out. I will say for the book that we're talking about for you,
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3 don't set the hook
Right.
because it's team building,
Right.
and we have to introduce the 18 people that are on this team or whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that was probably the biggest weakness of that book.
Right.
I feel like if we could have introduced the plot in issue 1, built the whole team in issue 2, and then got to it in issue 3, that would have been a much better book.
You're so right.
But I can almost see why you jumped off where you did.
Right.
And why you
Right.
stuck with it as long as you did.
Right.
Man, but not talking about the name of the book is really weird. Because like they're all like, I don't
know.
know what the balls you guys are talking about.
It's pretty rough.
It is. But yeah, that's my jumping on point. But to find a book that I've never read before, it really just comes down to like creators
Yep.
and genre.
Okay.
So mostly, I would say like, so creators, number 1. Like that is the biggest pull for me
Yes.
in a new book.
Yes.
If there's names on it that I respect and enjoy, I'll probably pick it up because I know what you do and I like what you do, so I'm gonna read it.
Yeah.
Then genre. So if there's names on it that I don't recognize, but it's sci-fi, I'm buying it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna buy it because it's sci-fi.
Yep.
And then westerns. I love western books.
Nice.
That will usually get me to like okay, I'm
Oh.
probably gonna buy this.
Yeah.
Even though I have been burnt by more western stories.
Oh man, I remember that one we picked up at that one con. There was like no dialogue in it. It was like really, really, really small.
I thought it was the opposite. I thought it was that long, tall one.
No, I don't know.
Are you talking about the one where we literally stood there and talked to like the artist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, and the idea is really good,
Yes.
but
The premise was really good too.
execution not so hot.
Yep.
Yep. I know what you're talking about. That's western.
That's Western.
That happens all the time.
That stinks.
happens. I kickstarted a western thing,
Yeah.
and I was super excited, and I got it, and there's like one story out of like 6 in this thing, where I'm like, well, this is interesting.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like the one wasn't even like, oh my gosh.
Hmm.
So, but I buy westerns. Kingsway West.
Kingsway West.
Love it.
Great.
Love Kingsway West.
It's a mashup.
Dude, Kingsway West is just... Woo! Woo, it's good.
Yeah.
And then for the last one, like, just your premise has to be interesting to me.
So if it's a sci-fi book, you're buying it no matter what. But
Yep.
if it's a different genre that you're not just 100% in on,
Right.
that has unknown creators,
Okay.
the premise, what kind of
So like Jonesy.
premise does it have?
Let's
to
go
have?
with Jonesy.
Okay.
Because I'm neck deep in Jonesy. I just love that.
Yeah.
What got me to buy Jonesy? So the first issue was nope, I can't do that because I like Sam Humphries and he wrote it.
Oops.
Okay, let me think of another one.
Different one.
What? I'm trying to think of
Unknown.
like a book that I'd read so many.
That you weren't recommended?
Yeah. What's one that I've picked
Oh.
up recently? Black.
Oh.
There we go.
I haven't heard of Black.
Okay, so I didn't know the artist or writer,
Okay.
and it's published by Black Mass Studios.
Okay.
So there was my familiarity with that book was zero
Yeah.
before I saw it on the shelf.
Right.
And so the basic premise of the book is that it's kind of scientific, where they get into like who can and who cannot get superpowers.
Uh-huh.
And it turns out only black people in their comic
Yep.
have the ability to get superpowers.
Okay.
And so the book starts off with like these three kids, and cops go stupid on them, literally for no reason, start shooting at them, and then one of them gets away because it turns out he has superpowers.
Right.
And then a like mysterious group that's like protecting these people that have superpowers meets up with this kid and talks with them, and then the story progresses from there. Super good book. Like I wrote about the first issue. I think it was first issue. I might have wrote about the third issue. I don't remember. The third issue just came out, but it was really good. And the reason why I got it because I was like, wow, that sounds really interesting.
Right.
Like
Huh.
like the idea that only a particular race in the world gets superpowers. And then once I read it, then the conflict in the book was like, then they're hunted down.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'm sold.
Huh.
It's really good. It's like,
I like that.
it's one of my more favorite recent books.
If you were to ask me that same question, it would be something
Hey,
I haven't
Spencer.
heard. Okay.
Hey, Spencer, I'm back.
Is that right?
Yeah, here I am. Hey, Spencer.
Yes.
Spe-
Yes.
Spencer.
Yes. Tell me. Or just
Same question.
if I
I'm having fun.
if it's not a genre that I want to read about, if it doesn't have a
So what's your number one
creator-
draw?
If it my number one draw?
Yeah, okay, so
Creator.
creator's number one,
Creator's number one.
then genre. Dude, you
I
can't
don't
just
know.
copy my list.
Shut up.
Mr. Original over here. And then
Look.
my list is a creator, and then genre, and then I am having fun.
That's
Okay,
good.
so creator,
Creator for
then
sure.
genre.
I don't think it's genre. I don't think it's
Shut
genre.
up. If there's a
No.
sci-fi book on the shelf, you're buying it.
No, I will not just buy it because I need the synopsis. I trust.
So that's
I
is that
trust-
over genre for you?
Yes, I trust the creators enough that I have read and I know and I love.
Yeah.
But if it's doesn't have a name that I recognize and a name that I like, then I'm gonna need more. I'm gonna need more than just the art.
Wow.
I'm gonna need something else.
Yeah, who knew?
Yeah.
Call yourself a sci-fi fan.
I do, but you don't have to. Would you still?
I don't know. Yeah, probably.
Okay, cool.
Just being judgmental over here for no reason.
All right. Okay.
Okay. So, how do they know when to grab
when
a
to
book?
commit, when to grab the second and third book. Because like a friend was even saying like he wanted to read a book we were talking about before.
Okay.
But
book?
didn't Huck.
Okay.
But didn't want to just buy the trade. He thought that maybe buying just the first issue would be a cheaper and more worthwhile investment.
Okay.
Personally, my thought was like, no, we recommended this book. Just go for it. You can trust us.
I'd bought the first issue first.
That's fine. That's fine. But why? Okay, so committing to that first issue. Wow.
Did you get lost?
I got so lost.
Welcome back. Where are you?
I don't know where I am.
Sweet. So this is the end of this show.
How many endings are we gonna have?
I don't know a lot.
Yeah, it's really just we're in a different place mentally today.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? It's all gold. Everything
Yeah.
we do is pearly gold.
Pearly gold.
Pearly gold.
That's right. Pearls made out of gold, or gold made out of pearls. Don't do that.
Okay, so who wanted to buy Huck?
I don't know if I have their permission, Sterling.
Okay. So Sterling was thinking about buying Huck.
Yes.
Didn't want to get the trade.
The trade.
Did he say why he didn't want to get the trade?
He didn't know if it would be worth it.
That's fair.
Right.
Dude, when I blog, I always tell people just, if it sounds great, go ahead and get the trade, but you can get the first issue
But that's
on
the thing.
Comixology.
If you get the first issue and you like it and then get the trade, you've spent one issue's amount more
Yeah,
than
but
you would have.
$2. You spent $2 more
No.
than you would have.
$3 to $4.
Not if, look, I'm assuming most people that are going to venture into comic books and try something new, I always assume they're going to go digital because it's cheaper and easier.
Okay, but
Like, I understand a lot of people don't.
our friend Sterling was not on the digital store.
Okay, that's fair.
Right, so that's another thing to
So
consider.
$4. But yeah, but if you like the series, like if you get to one, you're like, yep, I'm going to read this whole thing. Are you really that bothered that you spent $4 extra on a thing you like?
I don't know. It depends on how big of a comic book fan they are. Like for me, I like supporting the creators, especially if they have a variant like cover that I really do like. I would totally be like, no, I love this book. I like the work you're doing. I'm going to spend extra money on it to support.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, so he spends $4 and he's like, nope, don't like this. I don't have to spend any more money.
Sure.
Or he spends $4 and goes, yep, I really like this and I want to read the rest.
Right.
So I don't care that I just spent $4 extra to find out if I like the thing or not.
Sure.
That's why I always go with, that's why like my recommendation always for people is to just, unless they're like, that sounds so amazing. Like they're already committed to it just based off of what we've talked about.
Right.
Then I'm like, well, here the trade's available. But
Right.
for most stuff, I'm like, go check it out. Because like, I have an addiction. Like I have a serious problem with comic books.
You can't stop if you wanted to.
Right. So like, for me, it's like, okay, I'll read. Like I've said, I don't know if I've said this on the show. Lily knows this. If I ever won the lottery, which first I would have to play it.
This is good.
But if I ever was like a bajillionaire, my pull list would be everything. Like, I'm not even kidding. I would go to a comic book store and be like, whatever's published this week, that I want. All of it.
One of everything.
One of everything. Every week. That would be that's like my comic book fantasy.
Yeah.
So I get that I have a problem.
Yes.
Most people don't have that problem.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, try out a book. Try out one. Just try out issue 1. If there's certain books where I'm like, I could see where like they'd be like, okay, I'm not like for you and Shipwreck, where you're like, I don't know about Shipwreck.
Right.
Like I would not recommend Shipwreck immediately to someone.
Mm-hmm.
I would wait till like there's that point where I'm like, no. In issue 3, all the mystery in 1 and 2 pays off.
Aha.
So then I'd be like, it's worth it.
Okay.
I would tell, like I would always preface like,
yes.
It's.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Too much.
Yes.
Too much positive affirmation.
Yeah.
Okay. It was just funny where you were just like,
Yes.
I feel like the last time we had this conversation, like it was just us talking about why we buy books
Right. And not how to commit.
and how. Yeah.
Not
So,
actually how to commit.
so how do we answer the question? How does someone know when to commit to a book?
There's going to be some risk involved. Because
Sure.
you never know where a story's going to go, if you're going to like it. I mean, how much do you have to read? I think 3 issues is a really good number. If you don't know by 3, stop. But if that's too much, if you don't know by 2, stop. Like, you have to know. That's the thing. If you don't know, if you're still questioning whether or not you should buy the next issue,
for sure.
If you're at 3 and you're still questioning, stop. Like,
Yes,
stop.
absolutely. If you get to issue 3 and you're like, I'm just not sure if this is worth it, the answer is no.
Right. Because
Like, you're selling your. What's happening is most people that read comic books have sort of like that completist mentality where
right.
I'm on 3, I just want to finish this story arc and blah 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 blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
That is the worst for comic books because you end up reading stuff that you just don't like anymore.
You're spending so much money, taking up so much space in your home.
Right. Like I'm gonna be honest. Like I have hundreds, at least 100 or more issues of like 2 specific characters that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Where I stopped liking their book.
Wow.
A while back.
And you're still buying them. Oof.
One in particular, yes.
Okay.
One in particular, I am probably I'm 30-ish issues deep.
Wow.
That I see it and I'm like, I'm not gonna read that.
Wow. And you're still buying them.
Look, I have a problem.
Okay. We're gonna work on that.
By the way,
Yes.
it's just so we can be clear. When Lily sees that I just said that,
that email is getting sent so fast.
she's going to be like, send the email to take it off your list immediately.
Yep.
Yeah. Because 30
I
times
can't wait.
4
Please text me when that happens.
Like $120, $130 worth of books.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, sweetie, I have a problem. You knew that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that I would agree with you.
Okay.
That's like the good time to.
Yeah.
If you're hype after 1, go to 2. If you're hype after 2, stay on until you're bored.
Probably good. Yeah, stay on. There you go. Stay on until you're bored. But don't question the boredom. See, because I got bored on issue 5 of that one, and I seriously was still considering getting 6.
See, I'm different there.
Right.
I say question the board. If you're bored on issue 3, probably it's already time to go. If you get bored that quick, but if you're on 5 and you know it's a limited thing where it's not going to go to like 30, it's like say like you're on 5 and they're going to go to 10.
Right.
Some stories have lulls and it happens. TV shows get boring. Like it's just, I get it. But if you're by 5, I would say stick with it.
Yeah.
If you go 5 and then 6 is boring and 7's boring, hate to say this, but chances are the end's going to be boring.
Yeah, but that's another thing is how long are these story arcs?
Then that's why I was like, you have to know when.
Is it a percentage? So 2 out of 6? Is it a 33.3?
Why are you getting all
repeating
aggressive?
Percentage chance of you not? Like, should you only go 33, like a third into the total arc? Because some books will say, like Hadrian's Wall is, I think, 8 issues. And so if you're on 3 out of 8, is that too far? Or are you still early enough to break free?
Here's the problem. You're already halfway through the story at 3 and 4.
Right. 3 isn't
quite half. I know. But it might as well be.
See, that's a different take on it, though.
3, 4, and 5 are just like, it's the literal centerpiece of that.
Right. Act 2.
You're getting close to it for Act 2. And if they're using a 3-act style.
Sure.
You don't care.
Wow, okay.
But yeah, like if you're bored, if you're reading Hadrian's Wall, and I think you're right, I think it's 8. 1 hyped you up, 2 kept you going, 3 you're like, and 4 you're like, okay, then you're losing interest in the story.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you hit like the middle-ish point and you're starting to like fade out, because chances are what had you hyped early on is gone, or it didn't go in the direction you thought it would, and now you're bored.
Yeah.
But if it's just like they're doing something where you're like, I don't care about this that much, but we're gonna get back to the thing I care about. Why wouldn't you stay on?
Yeah.
They do it all the time in comics.
So it turns out when you're committing,
it's way more complicated.
You kind of just have to do you. Like, be true to yourself. You know, follow the light
your dreams
in your own heart.
Yep, believe in the heart of the cards.
Let your conscience be your guide.
I'm not going to keep this going.
Okay. Second star to the right and straight on till morning. that's a place you could go.
It is.